Don't you feel that I always wear the same thing? Because every time we talk, it's always the same t-shirt I wear.
I know, I think you plan it just to make me feel good.
I don't, but it's actually it's seriously my favorite t-shirt. Dad, look at my t-shirt. Christina's like, this is the best t-shirt ever. I'm like, I know.
Oh my gosh, that's so good. Well, I'm camping and I thought, well, should I put another outfit on? And then I was like, so this is the dressiest camping t-shirt I even have. So, and I've probably worn it 3 years ago, but.
So you don't see it, it's gone, but it's been raining on and off since this morning, and
yeah.
We went for a drive and it was just like torrential rain. So that's why like my hair, like you should see the difference between when it's actually dry out. Like it's been a little cooler for the last 2 days, except today. Yeah. And my hair's nice when it's straight and it's not frizzy. And right now I look like a fucking mess. Anyway.
Mine is no difference. It just doesn't even matter.
Hey.
Hey.
Introduce yourself.
My name is Linda. Linda Stroh Anderson. I have one of those crazy hyphenated names. I would never do that again, by the way. But I kind of had to because when I got married when I was in veterinary school, and so I was always Linda Stroh, and then I was Dr. Stroh, and then I got married and to an Anderson, and so that would have screwed everything up. So I'm Dr. Stroh and I'm Mrs. Anderson. That's how I do that.
And aside from that, for the people in the knitting industry, who are you?
I'm just nobody. I mean, I just have a hobby that I really love, and I love the people that are in my hobby, and I hang out with them, and I don't make anything to sell. I don't do any marketing for any of that sort of thing. I just have kind of a passion for the craft.
So for people who don't know, you're Linda Likes Photos on
Linda Likes Photos on Instagram. Yep, Linda Likes Photos, because I also do photography as a hobby. I have some, this is in our motor. And then on Ravelry, I am LBS Vet. And that's about it.
And you are, to me, the stranger.
The stranger. To some people, I am the stranger. To some people, I'm just flat out strange, but.
Well, that's why we get along so well, so.
Some people out there know me as the stranger, yes.
So this is kind of a special episode, which will probably air not in the regular schedule of the Dolphina show. So because of that, I thought it'd be fun to do a little bit of questions and a little bit of a regular knitting format.
Whatever blows your hair back, babe.
You like that?
I do.
Well, let's start with...
I called you like 2 minutes ago and said, okay, let's just do this because, you know, cocktails and...
Okay, so let's...
Cocktail recipe, because I think there are others that may enjoy this. So this is a frozen Moscow mule, and this recipe came from a knitting friend of mine named Lisa Hill. Hi, Lisa. you take a container and you put a can of limeade, 3 bottles of ginger beer, and 3 cups of vodka. You stir it together, you throw it in the freezer, and then you get these fabulous frozen Moscow mules.
Okay, so here is, can you believe that I have to resign myself to gin soda because there is an outage of tonic water in my area. So I added a little bit of lime juice, but that's not my regular drink. I kind of want to cry right now.
It's delicious. It looks delicious, but you know, I did not realize before that, you know, when I know people who drink tonic, I just go buy Schweppes tonic water. I didn't realize that there are tonic water snobs out there. When I went to England, like, tonic water is a thing and gin is a thing. And,
oh, gin is a thing in my house. And for me, a low-grade gin is a Bombay. So I'm kind of, yeah, you should see my collection. It's kind of bad, but anyways.
Well, I think we got you some Bombay when you were at our house. It didn't last long. I'm just saying.
I think there's a little bit left, and we said we were supposed to have it in June when I was supposed to go on a road trip, but then COVID happened. But anyways, let's carry on.
Okay.
Hey, the stranger.
Mm-hmm.
How are you feeling right now?
On a scale of 1 to 10, I'm an 8.5.
Good enough. What's exciting about life right now?
Hey, nobody's sick in my house. I have a roof over my head. I have people who love me, and I love people. That's about as exciting as it gets. I have a daughter that's heading off to college. She's going to our local community college, and it's going to be all online. So that's exciting. And then my 16-year-old is going back to school they're doing it in school. So I'm excited to see what transpires. I'm hopefully optimistic, we'll put it that way. So that's about the most excitement in my life right now.
Are you working on something right now?
So I brought my camper out here, and you know, I still go into work every day. I'm 15 minutes from my house, but I'm out here, and I said, you know, I'm going to go through my deep whip pile that is insane and work on some of that stuff. So I just finished the Chrysalis shawl. And
yarn for that.
This is mine.
Shocker. That's gorgeous.
So,
and what is the yarn?
It's Qing fiber. It's the melted suri Qing, and then it's a single ply. And unfortunately, I don't know the name of the colorway, as would be typical with. Usually, I save all my ball bands, but that particular thing I did not. And then this is one
Stand by. Where'd you get that?
Where? I believe I got it at the Knitting Loft.
And why did you get that?
Well, I always wanted to make it, but then I saw Maria's. She did the blue one, like was in the pattern, and I said, okay, yeah, I have to make that. So it was Maria.
We're pretty much like very influenced by Maria and Bruno from Knitting Loft.
Everything I can't even tell you how many things I've started that she's made, or things that I have the yarn and pattern for, and it's just sitting there, but then I see that she has finished it, and I was like, oh, I got to get on that because it's absolutely beautiful.
Absolutely.
So this other thing that I'm working on, oh my gosh, I'm ashamed to see how old it is. Let me find the pattern. I don't know where it is. So I ordered this kit from Spincycle yarn 3 or 4 years ago. And okay. I'm almost positive they don't even make this yarn anymore because it doesn't look like any Spincycle I've even seen. But it's a cowl. It's a brioche cowl. And this is the wrong side, which is the side that I like.
Wow.
And then this is the right side. It's all gray, but you can see the peaks of the colors underneath it. But it just, I think it's supposed to go, you know, like this with one of those little jewel leather claspy things. So I'm really happy that I've got like 3 repeats and then this is done. and it can go bye-bye.
Do you know what the name of the pattern is? Do you remember?
Well, I have it, and I mean, I literally have it right here. It is called, how would you pronounce that?
Salish sites. Salish site. I don't know.
Yeah, and there's another picture of it.
Yeah, I like it.
Yeah. So it's Spincycle Independence.
I've never seen that before.
And so there's two different colors of Spincycle Independence. So I think that this is very old.
Okay. And the last one before we carry on to the next question.
Should I show you my ass hats? I know I showed.
Of course. Yeah.
Okay. So my friend Samantha of Whimsical Wood Yarn Company has these colorways that are different asses, okay? So she has Smitten ass and Quarantine ass, and then I'll show you the one I just got. So this is a hat I did in Smitten ass, and it's made to be
like plan pooling.
Plan pooling. I can't remember which one this is. This is Quarantine ass because, you know, quarantine.
Isn't it the last one, the one before Sassy ass?
She told me the other day, and I forget.
I have it somewhere. I'll try to figure it out. Yep.
But the newest one I got from her is called Alien Ass, and I think it's my favorite one. So it's this.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah. So that's my little hat. And I've got some socks I've done, and if we were at home, I have some other finished things, but I'm not at home, so I don't have them with me. Still working on my embroidery.
Next question.
Oh boy, here we go. Now it's back to serious.
What's missing in your life right now?
Travel. Without a question, travel. I've been to Colorado twice this summer. I have a very good friend in northern Colorado, north central Colorado, which, by the way, they're on an evacuation order because there's a fire very near her home. So I'm praying for her. And then went to Estes Park with a group of knitters, but I miss travel.
We had big plans this summer.
Yeah, I guess everybody did. So, you know, I'm not alone. And if I want somewhere, I am not frightened enough to not go. There are certain places I probably wouldn't go, but, you know, I don't mind driving a good road trip. I would go, but it's not as fun with other people.
How you start your morning?
Coffee, period. I love all these people that get up in the morning and they knit. I can't even like find the correct end of a knitting needle in the morning. I have to have coffee. I have to putter. I like to just putter around, let the dog out to pee, come back in, sit and stare at the news for a while, and then get ready for work. But yeah, it has to be and I'm a really, really early riser normally. I'm finding when I'm camping though, I'm actually sleeping in till like 6:30 or 7, which is bizarre to me. That's really late for me.
Wow.
I know.
Hey. You want to see? Okay, so I didn't bring everything because it's too much work, but so I brought 3 whips and a couple of like finished objects, but I'll start with the whips.
Good.
So the first one, so when I actually went to see Christina when she came to the knitting loft, I met a super awesome pattern designer. Her name is Andrea Petron, and she knits a lot on Instagram. And she was showing her latest design called a Grand Trianon. I fell in love with it. And I was like, I came home and I was like, no, I cannot justify getting yarn for a shawl because I'm a sweater knitter now. Little did I know, 3 days later, it was on the Knitting Love website and I got some Julie Asselin Sport in the color Champignon.
Oh,
And
oh my gosh. That's
yeah,
beautiful. Bubbles and
so
cable.
there's like lace, there's like crochet bubbles, there's like, it's phenomenal.
You wouldn't do that on an airplane, would you?
I don't know. That's my quiet time because it's an 18-page pattern with hardly no charts. So it's my before bed knitting because I have to concentrate and I'm actually staring at my tablet. And
Yeah.
but there's gonna be like there's still more, like another 6 repeat of this part. So that's gonna grow.
Yeah.
Then you cast off and then you pick up stitches on the side and there's like a band with mohair. It's amazing.
Wow,
So
I can't. That's beautiful.
So I wanted like kind of a sweatshirt type of like sweater, super plain, and so I had some art fill in the color Clair de Lune, and it really does look like a sweatshirt. I'm gonna run out of yarn, but I have more coming. But it looks like that. It looks like nothing. It's a bottom up.
Yeah.
It looks the raglan pullover by Pearl Soho. Like, it's a very simple, like, bottom up. You join the sleeves and then you do the raglan.
Yeah.
But yeah. So there's kind of a like curve shape in the front and in the back. Like, it's not a split end, but it looks like it. Like, it's all short rows at the bottom and then straight knitting. So that's my dog walking knitting.
Yeah, it's heavy.
And last but not least, so I now carry Primrose Olmsted Sports, and I was dying to make a Guthrie.
Yes.
And my Guthrie is in its infancy, and I'm due to change needles, but this is Pretty String, Pretty Yag DK, and it's in the color Agnes.
Mm-hmm.
And my contrasting color is this beauty. It's called Bedrock. Like, it's weird because the 3 skeins are completely different. It's really going to do like a nice kind of thing.
Wow. Oh,
so, yeah.
very. I told you which I liked.
I know. We'll talk about it. I have like a pile. I have a few like kits that I can actually show. I'm gonna cast on a brioche hat with that soon. So yeah. What's your secret to fighting jet lag?
My sister-in-law told me, don't go to bed. When you get there, you just power through it and you don't go to bed. I have found that if you fly at night, it doesn't even matter at all. So if you can get a night flight, sleep as best you can on the plane, and you're ready to go when you get there. End of story.
What's your best date night spot?
Well, Donnie and I enjoy a good restaurant as much as anybody, but honestly, we have the most fun when we both get our cameras out and we find a cool landscape spot, like by a lake or on a dock, or, in the night sky filming the Milky Way or whatever. So I have to say that's probably our favorite date night. We haven't done it for a while because we have teenagers that I'm not sure I can trust. I think I can, but I'm not completely sure. I don't want to find out. So we don't leave them like home alone late at night all the time. I have discovered some interesting things about my kids that way, but sunrise, sunsets with our cameras are probably about our best date nights.
How did you and Donnie meet?
Well, back in the day, we both went to the same high school, and I was actually in his brother's class at Valley High School. And Donnie was the popular guy at school. And I didn't hang in that crowd. So I didn't really know him that well. I knew of him. We occasionally spoke, but we weren't by any means close. And then I moved away. My dad got transferred. I moved away for 10 years, got married, got divorced, came back to Iowa. And so then I picked him up in a bar. And the rest is history. He's been married for 26 years. So, hey, picking a guy at a bar, sometimes it can work.
Who liked who first?
I was always enamored by him because he was so popular in school and he was so handsome. But I don't know. He kept staring at me across the bar. So
There must have been something.
who knows?
What was your first date? Do you remember?
Yes. He borrowed his dad's little tiny Datsun pickup. And we met at this pizza place that everybody went to in high school. And then we went downtown and watched the World Series with a group of people. So it was very romantic. Johnny had zero money. And so we would go out and he would pretend to drink beer because it was cheap. And he hated beer. I mean, he still to this day, that's the only time he would get one beer and like sip on it all night. And I could tell it made him sick. But he was so cheap, that's all he could afford. So he would get beer.
What was the most surprising part of becoming a mother?
Oh, I had no idea. I had no idea how much love was in your heart that you didn't even know was there. So I didn't have my kids until I was 39 and 41. I wasn't necessarily even going to have kids. And then it was like, oh, I don't want to be alone in the nursing home. I want somebody to be able to bury me. I want them to come and make fun of me, whatever. But when my kids were born, it was like this extra place in your heart had this love that I had no idea even existed. And it's unbelievable. Unbelievable. That's what surprised me.
I like it.
Yeah.
So you have 2 kids? Have a daughter and a son?
Yes.
So Lauren is what, 18?
Lauren is 18 and Samuel is 16, which is why I'm out here.
So what do your kids do to make you laugh?
Samuel is probably the one most like me, and he makes me laugh all the time, and he also pisses me off more than any human being on the planet, except maybe his dad. But he calls me Linda. It's not Mom. He always calls me Linda, and people just can't get over that, and it just cracks me up.
I find that so funny.
Then all his buddies, all his friends call me Mom. So Sam calls me Linda. His friends call me Mom. Lauren makes me laugh just because she's so sweet and innocent, and she's just precious. And I know she's not as innocent as I think she is, but she still cracks me up by just the fact of such little things make her so excited. So my kids have never been like she never was into brand name clothing. I got so lucky. Like Lauren can go to Walmart or Target and find a shirt that she likes. And it's so that thing with our family has always been really cool. So I get tickled when she gets really excited about, like, she'll get an expensive makeup palette or something that I'm not even, I mean, you're probably more aware of me. And she'll get all excited for a $125 thing of eyeshadow. I'm like, what are you talking about? She excites me because she has an extremely diverse group of friends. My kids have their friends at our house constantly, and sometimes I'm annoyed by that, but then the other part of me is like, hey, I'm glad they're here and not out downtown in the
you don't know.
have them get in trouble at my house than get in trouble out in the world. So we have kids at our house constantly, and the diverse, extremely diverse group of friends that she hangs out of, A, makes me very proud of her, and B, cracks me up because they're hilarious.
What's one trait you want to pass on to your kids?
But the little voice theory, I feel like everyone in the planet has a little voice in their head, and they may or may not listen to it, but that little voice is extremely smart. And my little voice has gotten me out of trouble so many times by stopping me at that point before I went almost too far. And I tried to tell them, listen to your little voice. It will tell you whether things are okay or things are not okay. And so I always tell them to listen to their little voice.
So aside from knitting, you said you're a doctor, but explain to people what kind of doctor you are.
Doctor of Veterinary Medicine, DVM. And let me give you a little tip. If you're at your veterinarians and you say something like, well, I went in today to my real doctor. Don't say. Veterinarians don't like that. Because most of them will say, how many species did your doctor have to study? Oh, 1? We did 6. So yeah, I'm a veterinarian. I've been a veterinarian since 1995. And before that, I was a veterinary technician since 1982. So I've been in this business a long time. I still love it. I still love it very, very much. But if people think they want to be a veterinarian because they love animals and they won't have to deal with people, you are sorely mistaken. People and their animals are crazy. And you know what? I'm one of them too. Because I love my animals too. So been doing it a long time. Part of me would love to retire, but part of me would really, really miss my people and my pets. So it'll be a while.
Anything else to show?
I do.
All right, let's go.
I'll show a couple quick things. I love these. They don't look good until they're on your feet. I love these slipper socks.
They're super cute.
They're called Joe's Perfect Slipper Socks, and they are a pattern by Cozy Up Knitting, which is in Canada. Mm-hmm. 4 sisters. So I have made a couple pairs of these, and I just keep a sack with my leftover yarn in them so that I can make another pair. But honest to gosh, I have worn these barefoot all over the place, and they don't wear out. They stay on your feet. I really, really like them. So I'm making a pair of those.
What's the yarn?
This is, it's just scrap. This is, I can't even tell you what it is because it's just leftover. Okay. Yeah, I don't know. This is a sock pattern that I started a long time ago again. And so I said, well, I'm going to finish it.
Ew.
And that is, since I'm so prepared, it is called, oh, I have it right here. The Please and Thank You Socks.
Look at you.
By the Sweater Collective. The Please and Thank You Socks. And the yarn, you ask?
Yep.
Is Goosey Fibers.
Look at you.
The colorway, Butterbeer. Shove that one up your knitting bag. Okay.
I like it.
Okay. And so then now I'm going to really quick, I have other stuff, but I'm not going to go through all that, but I am going to show you my, because I showed this at that other podcast that we recorded that didn't work out so well. So one of my favorite things that I like to do is go to flea markets and find old sewing baskets, but I only buy them if they still have all the crap in them. And they usually smell bad and there's weird stuff in there, but I love that. So I had purchased this wicker sewing basket, and in the bottom of the sewing basket, I think it was in there just to keep things from falling out of the bottom, but it was an old sugar sack. And I to embroider it, crystal sugar, and it's from Mason City, Iowa. So I'm doing that, and I'm going to line it with this really cute fabric and make a little knitting bag out of it. So that's that.
I like it.
So, yep. And like I said, there's more, but I do want to I want to show you one thing I purchased from someone in Canada. I purchased this from Espace Tricot.
Shut the fuck. No.
Okay. You should smell it.
No, I want it. Like, and the maker is a friend of mine, and Stephanie is super talented. Like, it's good God.
I know. I have a couple friends really pissed. And so and then there's magnets here.
Uh-huh. It's incredible.
So I was kind of excited about that. Oh, One more maker on your thing. I ordered. Hold the phone. Hold the phone.
Hold my beer.
I ordered the Grease Rizzo inspired club kit from Lady Di Yarns and the woman that I love so very much, Black Pearl Magic.
She's so awesome.
I love her so much. So this was the skein of yarn that came, which is pretty much right up my alley. But I gotta show you these stitch markers that Shayla did. They are the cutest flippin' things. She's Black Pearl Magic on Instagram. She makes the cutest stitch markers. Look at these, they're little poodles.
I know, they're little poodles. I saw that. Did I send you like a super cool enamel pin from her too at the beginning of the pandemic?
Yeah.
Oh, this is,
yep.
oh, but,
And this is Nerd Bird Bakery. She did a little roller skate. And then there's a pattern from Cairo. It's a cowl. It's very beautiful. And if I needed a cowl, I'm probably going to make this into a shawl because I have some one skein shawl projects, but it is a beautiful cowl that he has. So anyway, shopping.
We should join the Hohi Cal with she has a one skein shawl that just came out, the Venezia.
Oh, I'll have to look at that. So it would be 25% off now.
Did you know that sweet skein of mine skein that I got that was custom made to match my avatar?
Yes.
That's what I wanted to make. We should do a cowl with that.
Okay. I did hers a couple years ago. I really liked it. So it was fun.
Because I'm not really, like, there's a bunch of stuff a bunch of patterns that I've seen and I'm like, oh, but that would be feasible. Like, it's a one skein thing and it doesn't look too hard. So, yeah.
What do you think it's called?
Venezia, I think.
Okay.
Is it new? The link.
Okay. Cool. I'll look it up.
What's your best memory of me?
Oh my gosh. I'm trying to think because there are a number of them. I have to pick. Oh, well, I don't know if this is the best because they're all really good. But one that brings me a lot of joy is when you came to visit me and you happened to show up during the only snowstorm that we had entire winter, and it was horrible. And everything was closed except for a few. And you and I went up the street for sushi, and I do not drive drunk. Okay, I want to make that absolutely positively clear. My husband doesn't drink. He drives me everywhere. I do not drive drunk. But Sophie, being Sophie, seriously, it was like we were right up the street. There's no traffic on the roads because nobody is stupid enough to be driving in this stuff. I literally think I can drive from this restaurant to the 4 blocks to my house and we'll be fine. So we're driving home from the sushi restaurant and Sophie has her GPS on. I'm like, what the hell? I know where I live. Why? No.
At first, I didn't have it on. I have a very photographic memory. And I didn't recognize where we were, and
well, clearly neither did I, because
I started to GPS it, and I was like, Linda, we're too far. No, I know where I live. I'm like, no, we're too far.
Around in my neighborhood, it had to be 10 miles an hour, just around and around. And Sophie would say, turn left. I'm like, I know my own damn neighborhood. You don't turn left here. Around and around and around. And finally we showed up at my house. That was a good one. But seriously, I don't want to be known as the drunk driving lady. I don't do that. But
a good one. I think another really good one, because your face was worth 1,000 freaking words, but that sign I made when you arrive at Pearson, the people looking at me. I got a picture somewhere.
I have this little text message from Sophie, and she says, have your camera ready. And I'm like, why? I get off the plane. Here's Sophie with this huge flipping sign. Welcome to Canada, eh? That was good. I still have that sign in my sewing room, by the way.
I know. I saw it when I went to visit you.
That was precious. We should, if you have that, insert that picture.
Oh, I will. What's the last pretty penny you spent?
Probably on this. And I bought a pair of Qing sandals because I had to have them. I was ready for that question because I had heard you ask somebody else that question, and I had it already. Oh, I know what it was. It was a necklace that I purchased in Estes Park. That was going to be my official answer because I had gone in, and I like Indian, Native American jewelry, but I don't want the prefab stuff. I want it signed by the maker on the back in the silver. I want to know who made my stuff and what tribe they're from. And they had one. I wish I had it here with me. It's absolutely beautiful. And I got a fairly good deal. She took a couple $100 off of it. But
didn't you get a nice ring from that maker you showed me from Australia or something?
Well, yeah, now bring that up again. Creative Creatures Jewels on Etsy. She makes beautiful handmade turquoise. She's from Australia. And yeah, again, I don't have that with me because I'm camping. Or my fancy jewels when I'm camping.
That was incredible. So if you had a dinner party and you had to invite musician, politician, famous couple, and a family member.
There are so many. For the musician, I would ask John Lennon because I want to know. I feel like that man was a genius songwriter, but I also have a feeling he was kind of a jerk. Like not always really nice to people. And so I would love to have him and Richard Nixon at the table because I want to know why Tricky Dick or how he thought he was going to get him out of the country. And I'd like to have those two spar a little bit in front of me. And then I would like to have my father there, who my father was pretty much Archie Bunker reincarnate. I mean, that was my dad. And I would like to have him listen to an intelligent conversation about the war and Watergate and Republicans versus Democrats. And I'm not going to get political on you, but I just would love to have him hear that conversation.
Yep.
And then famous couple. There are so many. I involved in that whole thing. I would kind of like to have Jackie and John Kennedy, and I would like for Jackie to lay into him about all his affairs and see what happens. Might be kind of fun.
I like it.
I don't know.
What would you be serving?
I had put a lot of thought into that previously, hearing you ask that question, and those were not necessarily the ones I had thought of, but there's so many, but that's a pretty good one.
What would you be serving?
Well, okay, it would be at my campsite on the river, on the lake here, and we would just have burgers, brats, and beer, and they would have to deal with it.
And what would be the background music?
Oh, we would have some quiet jazz playing. There would be some Ella Fitzgerald and Billie Holiday, and that would be the music.
I like it.
Yeah.
Last person you texted?
You.
Yeah.
The one right before that was a buddy of mine named Craig Aldag, and Craig Aldag keeps sending me these TikToks that are these animals, and they use the Siri voice. Are you familiar? I put one of them on my Instagram today because it cracks me up. The one dog said that it ate a tampon and then it threw up, and then the other dog ate the vomit, and so then they were going for a walk, and the tampon was stuck in that dog, and the owner had to put a plastic on her hand and pull the tampon out of that. He says, and that dog, my mom had to pull the tampon out of that dog's butthole. And I just can't stop laughing. And then she says, can I curse on her? Can I curse just a little bit? Then he says, in this Siri voice, they said, I don't know how my mom can even handle this 2-dog shit show. And guess what? Now we have a third. So she went and got a new puppy. So it's just.
That sounds like you.
Yes,
Linda,
it does. Yes.
how many pets do you have?
Oh, we don't want. I'm not a hoarder.
Tell people about the main pets then.
I have 4 dogs and 4 cats. Okay. But I know a good vet that makes house calls, so we're good. Yeah. But my boyfriend, my one and only favorite boyfriend, let's see if I can get him down here.
Come on, buddy.
He's licking his foot because he had a split toenail that I clipped yesterday really, really short to get the split out. So oh yeah, I'm talking about you. So he's licking his foot, licking his wounds, as they say. He's my boyfriend. He's my protector.
Let's talk about the elephant in the room, Linda.
What's the elephant?
Well, I'm sitting in front of like a lot of very nice yarn.
Oh,
So
yeah. Show mine. Show the one that I'm living vicariously through that I want so bad.
So I did a really fun kit because I sat down with my friend Karen, who is the dyer behind Pretty String, and we made very nice kits. But some are very tonal, very like low contrast, and some others are very poppy and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm gonna have, well, I'm not sure when I'm gonna put this up, but probably on Sunday. So yesterday,
yes,
which is Saturday, I started to do the Dolphina Show Presents Happy Hour with Sophie. So I will talk about it more in depth, and I will probably have a cast on the show, but I'll actually have a few kits to give you like ideas. So each yarn will be sold separately and as a kit. So if you want to make either cowl, mittens, hats, shawl, like accessories to bigger shawl or wraps and stuff. Anyways, so Linda is in love with a color called Cobalt, which is kind of a very dark purple. So I paired it with the colorway called Michelle.
Oh, I love that.
I love the contrast. I think it's really cool. So I'm thinking like that would be so awesome with Catherine Schubert, brioche hats. Like she has a ton. Andra Mari has a couple. So that's one.
Sorry. So one of the favorite shawls I ever made was the Ora shawl by Caitlin Hunter. Is that how you say it? Has all the little tassels on it.
Yep.
But I think it might be a 3-color shawl.
I mean, I have all kinds of colors. Like each, like they can be sold like separately. Like there's a new one by Andrew Mary, like that big wrap. That's actually, it's a magpie and Spincycle, I think. That would be perfect for that also.
Yeah.
So the next one, so it's one I really, really like. The color is called Tang, like the juice.
Yep.
And I paired it with this really, really dark purple. So there's like a little bit, maybe not so much in this skein, but I sold like many of those, but that's another good one.
Yep.
I'm in love with this one. The color is called Smart Mouth, and it's paired with the color Natalie, which is kind of a rusty yellow kind of thing.
That's cool. I like that.
So another pair that I made with Smart Mouth is Roxy on Thursday. It's that kind of charcoal leathery color.
Yep.
I have one skein left of Aurora Polaris with more of a kind of yellowish.
That's nice too. You're good at that.
There's that. If you're looking for a low contrast, which is like my obsession right now.
Yeah.
Springbrook and Ivy.
Nice.
And Fathom and
yeah.
Roxy on the First Day. I really like this one.
Yep. That'd be a really pretty brioche.
I think so. This one is pretty fantastic too. At first it wasn't really exactly like the color I was expecting from the picture, but when I got it with, and that's the natural color. So that's the base.
Oh,
It's
nice.
dyed. So with this color called West World, I think it's a great combo too.
Yeah.
Like that would be nice and brioche.
Very nice.
And I have another skein of Aurora Polaris with the colorway called Kristen.
Ooh.
With a brownish, like a rich brown.
Oh, that's nice.
And one of my favorite color, another really good punch. So I was in love with the colorway Dandelion. And I think pair with Anya is pretty amazing.
Yep.
If you look, like that color is repeating on the other one. So I have one skein left of the colorway Animal.
Mm-hmm.
Paired with Natalie.
Oh, nice. Yeah. That's
So
very
yeah.
nice.
So they're all they're all uploaded like individually on my Etsy shop. And I'll try to come up with some like pattern ideas on Happy Hour. So yeah.
Yeah. Idea. Very good. I love it. Just don't sell all that. What's the color I like?
Bubble.
Yeah, don't sell all that. Just sit
Hey,
on
Linda, tell me one thing you can't live without.
Oh, my family. Yeah.
Your best Fiber Festival memory.
I can't even. I can't. They're all good. Anytime I can be around people that share the same excitement that I do, big or small, it doesn't even matter. I love them all. I can't even pin one down. Because each one is so different to me. It depends on who you're with, where you're at. I've been to things with my family. I've been to things with friends. I've been to things with people who don't have a clue. I've been to things with people who have every clue, and they're all different and fabulous in their own way. And I just have so much fun. So I can't answer.
I mean, I have many too, but VKL 2019.
That's fun. That was fun.
That was crazy. And my first ride back was pretty phenomenal, actually.
Yeah. They're all different. I mean, I've been there 4 times, and as a girl from Iowa to go to Rhinebeck 4 times, that's kind of crazy. But the first time I went with my mother, who only purchases crochet yarn from Hobby Lobby or Michael's, she could not believe that anyone would pay $25-30 for a skein of yarn. She was blown away. The second time I went with 6 women who I had just met through Ravelry. We had a phenomenal time, rented a house together. The third time I went with my husband and 2 kids. They and I had a phenomenal time. And then last time I went with you, phenomenal. I mean, they were all different, but they were all fantastic. So,
awesome.
What can I say?
Hey, do you have any finished objects?
Just that shawl that I already showed. I actually did have a few at home, but I'm not at home, so I don't have them.
Okay, so
Sophie,
here.
do you have finished objects?
God, well, they're not all finished. Like I have like not O's, but like I have a T-shirt. I just need to finish about this of the sleeve, but quarantine was good to me. I finished probably my favorite sweater to life, which I'm gonna make more. It's my love note.
Everybody says that, and I have yet to make it.
It's so amazing, like really. Because I had to copy you, I made.
Oh, but yours, that's
white
so.
horse.
Yay! It's so pretty. What's the
yarn?
yarn?
It's Farmer's Daughter and Squishy DK, and the colorway is Country Hill, I think.
Nice.
A local designer to me, my friend Chelsea from Spun Fiber in Burlington. She designed a sweater called, I always forget, I think it's Candy Skull or Sugar Skull or something, but
that's perfect.
It's a worsted. Like I didn't really wear it yet. I'm excited for the fall to start wearing it.
Yeah, it's perfect.
And last but not least, and I will not lie, I didn't knit it. I gave it to a friend, a really good friend, and she knit it for me, and she made me a All of the Lights by Locatelli. It's actually knitted in the Inner Drag Queen colorway by Pretty String. It is the most fantastic thing I've ever had in my life. I am actually really looking forward to it.
I love you to death, but I would never knit something like that for you.
Oh, I'm taking her, like, if she can get, like, the weekend off, I'm taking her to Tremblant in November to pay it back, so. So we're renting this, like, huge, like, Escalade, and we're driving to Tremblant, and we're staying in that big house, and it's gonna be a lot of fun. So we're really excited. But yeah, so this is it. There's a few more that are almost done.
Yeah.
But I have castonitis right now.
I know that feeling. I know that feeling. That's very cool.
Well, Linda.
Yes, dear.
You want to wrap it up?
Yeah, let me show you. I'm going to show you the view. Okay, I'm going to do a little thing here because I want everybody to know. So we here in Iowa last week had what's called a derecho.
Yeah.
I think I'm saying that correct. And it's basically an inland hurricane. And it went from Nebraska to Ohio. And we fared pretty well. We lost one very large tree in our front yard, but it hasn't really gotten very much national attention. And there are people still a week and a half later that have no power. In Cedar Rapids, Iowa, there are people who there's no power, so there's just rotting food from freezers and refrigerators sitting out on the curbs because there are so many trees down and power lines down that nothing can get down the streets to pick this stuff up. And it's just incredible. And I know they've received a ton of help, so I'm not asking one to do anything about it except just keep us in your prayers and thoughts. It was quite an ordeal, and it was very, very scary, and it happened very quickly, and no one was expecting it, and sort of like a tornado, but not really like a tornado. We didn't have much warning. I happened to be out here at the campsite when it came, and I ran home in my car and just made it home in time, and I was very afraid to come back out here. There were a number of campers that were just decimated by the trees. I was lucky. Mine was fine. All my things that I had outside, our chairs and our rug and our awning and everything just blew to God knows where. But I still feel very fortunate about it. So we had our own little natural disaster here, and people are still really having a hard time from it. But having said that, I wanted to show you, you can edit this however you want. I wanted to show you my little view from my campsite here. It's hot right now.
No, I know it's very humid here.
So hold on, let me, I don't know how to turn this thing around, so I'll just go this way. So I'm out here at a place called Jester Park, and so down here, you can't, that's my motorhome. So down here, can you see the bridge back there at all?
Yeah, a little bit.
Turn this around.
There it is.
Okay, so that's a mile-long bridge, and that goes into what we call Sailorville Lake, and then there's a dam, and so it's a huge reservoir where people do boating. But this is all the river flowing into that, and you probably can't see them, but there are. We have a pelican migration here every year that starts usually around Labor Day. And they're just starting to show up. There's a couple of them over there. But these great big huge white pelicans come and roost here. And it's really kind of fun to watch. But what we usually do this time of year is that everyone comes and puts their campers out and we watch sporting events, usually Iowa football or Iowa State football. But as you all know, that's not going to happen this year. So fall is going to be sad for Iowans because we like our football.
I have to say that I was in Iowa for the Super Bowl.
That's right.
That
like our
was so
sports,
much fun.
right? So we don't have a national team. So we are right in between Kansas City, Minneapolis, and Chicago. So you're either a Bears, a Vikings, or a Chiefs fan. And of course, last year everybody was a Chiefs fan. But yeah, you got to see, you were here during the playoffs, and that was pretty fun. You had some new friends.
That was so awesome. That was so amazing.
Sophie, that was not the sports fan, was like, go Chiefs! Like you, by the end of the thing, you knew who all the team members were, and you knew what football was, and you knew how to cheer for it. It was awesome.
I'm a sport from like the side, like, you know?
I'm so glad we finally did this. We're too busy.
Well, and then it was like equipment issues. So I don't know how this is going to sound, but I mean, like, it can't be worse than it was the first time. Like, the second half of that video
If I have to do this over again, I just don't know. I just don't know if I can.
No.
All
so,
right, I'm
Josh,
going to send you.
You better subscribe to my channel now.
Yes, right? I'll whore it all over the place.
Love you, buddy.
Love you, sweetie. I will talk to you later.
Bye.
Bye.